Today we are over near Stanley, Idaho, and this behind me is the Yankee Fork Dredge. We're actually going to walk through it. Beautiful country. I've been wanting to come up here to Stanley for a long time and check out this country up here. There's some ghost towns and a whole bunch of mining claims. This dredge actually operated up the Yankee Fork from the 1930s through 1952. Dredging operations just continued, but there are lots of mining claims through here, and to run a dredge that many years, this thing must have pulled up some gold. It doesn't say how much, but maybe somebody that's watching this will know that answer of how much gold this dredge actually pulled out of the Yankee Fork. Anyway, let's go check it out. It's pretty cool. You can see the bucket line there. Thing's huge. Man, those buckets are... It's a lot of iron right there in those buckets. It's pretty cool. Looks like it's still floating in the water. Pretty cool. Look at that thing. It's an example of one of the buckets. Big deer. Wow. Here to station 5 and 6. Yeah, those winches. Massive. So here's all the motors, motor control room. A bunch of resistors control the speed of these motors that actually power the winches in the bucket line. See outside there. Go up another 5 steps here. So I guess this thing weighs 988 tons.
Okay, please.
Look at these buckets. Total bucket assembly weight 3,240 pounds. That's where the bucket line comes. Actually, these would be the returns. It would drop down and pick up material. Looks like materials drop down this. this bull gear is what turns the bucket line. This thing was driven by a 200 horse AC motor with a 50-to-1 gear ratio. Says it had to be replaced three times during the course of the operation of the dredge. This was the weak link. I mean, imagine all those buckets weighing 3,200 pounds, and then this gear has to turn all that. That's pretty amazing. And it's all done with a 200 horsepower AC motor. Oh, look at that crane up there. 8-ton crane. I would imagine they use that to replace buckets and things as they're needing to be replaced. Oh yeah, there's the motor right there. GE. General Electric. It's like must have been a trommel in the middle, rotating to separate the different sized material. Pretty cool. Yeah, the material comes off the buckets down and then drops into this trommel that's rotating. Then that's the conveyor that the tailings go out that other end of the conveyor. It's pretty amazing. Freshwater tank. Oh, the tank collected clean rainwater from the roof, and the steam boiler and the diesel engines, they needed fresh water to operate since the pond was pretty muddy. They needed fresh water for it. Alright, we'll go down these narrow stairs.
Yeah, 3,200 gallons of it of water flowing through it.
Right through
And it would up this band, and then it had through the middle. It also had sprayers around the circumference that sprayed out into it, blowing everything out to this conveyor. The idea being the gold being, 19 times higher, more heavy than water, heavier than lead would fall through into these sluice boxes. And it was just semi-efficient. All the bigger stuff got passed because that could only handle 5/8 and smaller in terms of powder, gold, flakes, and nuggets. But they collected about, it's $1940, about 1.2 or 1.3 million over the lifetime of the dredge. Probably missed about 3 million out of those.
Yeah, prices back then.
Yeah, today it would be $50 million, but also be 100 million lost. So.
All right, so that's part of the tailings conveyor there. You can kind of see where the trommel comes down into this hopper and then starts this tailings conveyor that goes out. And then there's the tailings conveyor there. And you'll see these big river rocks deposited all throughout this particular valley. Pretty efficient machine. This looks like a sand chute here. Sand would be deposited out this run. There's a jig for recovering gold here. Back in the days when they were running this, they were still using mercury to separate the gold. So this was the mercury distiller here. So these are the sluice runs.
They brought in a separate team just to harvest.
They didn't want anybody pickpocketing.
So it'd come out from the trommel here and then run down these sluice runs.
Very, very, very rare.
Pretty cool. Seven cylinders, 350 horsepower, which for its day, 350 horsepower out of a motor like this was pretty impressive. They had two 9,000 gallon diesel tanks in the floor, and they had to get fuel delivered up here every week. Pretty impressive. Twin engines here. These are some big diesel engines. That's pretty cool. Lots of history. See, there's Dave Turin right there. We know Dave. Pretty impressive. Yeah, so if you ever find yourself around Stanley, Idaho, come check out this dredge. This thing pulled out millions of dollars worth of gold over a couple decades. Pretty cool. The stacker. That would be the stacker. Stacking all the tailings up. So we were told that this dredge actually operated another 500 yards to the north of where we are now. Actually mined on somebody else's claim, and then the claim owner asked J.R. Simplot to move it, or they were going to start charging them rent. So they moved it to this place, which was back on their claim, and then in 1966 J.R. Simplot donated this dredge to the U.S. Forest Service. And yeah, it's pretty amazing piece of history, that's for sure. Just shows you the sheer size of this Yankee Fork dredge. We're actually standing on top of tailings from them dredging. There's more tailings across the road there as well. This whole valley all the way up, most of the way up from Sunbeam, you can see these tailings. They go, I don't know, this thing must have went 7 miles or something up this canyon. Pretty impressive.